I'm Commissioner John Hutchings. Thank you for joining us on Thurston County Connection on Thurston Community Media.
Hear ye, hear ye. A bell is not a bell until it's been rung.
Hey, good morning. I'm Thurston County Commissioner John Hutchings, and I have the pleasure of being in the company of Mary DiMatteo. She's the community outreach for the Olympia Farmers Market, and we're here at the Farmers Market, and no better way to start a day than here. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Commissioner.
How long have you been doing this?
This is my third year as Community Outreach Manager for the Olympia Farmers Market. But I first started here at the Olympia Farmers Market working for Burnt Ridge Nursery and Orchards about 10 years ago.
And so when you were working for the nursery, you were down just a few stations down, weren't you?
That's right. Yes, Burnt Ridge Nursery direct markets here at the Olympia Farmers Market and has for close to 30 years.
Well, welcome to the Farmers Market organization.
Thank you.
Now, I understand that this is the first week of August is it National Farmers Market Week?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. And how long is this Farmers Market? We're having an anniversary this year.
Yes, so the Olympia Farmers Market has been in existence since 1975. So we are celebrating our 42nd anniversary year.
42 years.
42 years.
I've seen this market grow. I've been in the community since '85, and I've seen the market grow from this to what it is now, and it's now state of the art. How difficult is it, or how do you become a vendor?
Becoming a vendor at the Olympia Farmers Market requires that your product is produced within the geographical boundaries of Thurston County, Lewis County, Mason County, or Grays Harbor County east of the Wainuchi River. That is the first standard of requirement for membership here at the Olympia Farmers Market. Another standard that we look for in membership here at the Olympia Farmers Market is that we make sure that every one of our vendors has a direct hand in the production of the products that they bring to market. And every vendor that comes here actually goes through a rigorous jurying and inspection process to ensure that we have market integrity and to ensure that we are bringing the best products in the region to our marketplace.
Does that include the arts and crafts as well?
That does. That includes artisan crafters as well.
Artisan. So these are all handmade arts and crafts. They're not mass-produced in some factory and brought here to resell.
That's right, and that's something that we really pride ourselves on. Everything here, from agricultural commodities to artisan processed foods and handcrafted goods, are all made here in our region, and it's a real point of pride for us here at the market. So the market is open over 150 days a year. We're open year-round, January through March, Saturdays only, April through October, 4 days a week, Thursday through Sunday, and November and December, Saturdays and Sundays, including December 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. And we are always open from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Our stage is every market day is full or booked with local musicians that come and bring a lot of culture and exposure of the arts to our market clientele. So every market day we have live entertainment on the stage.
And they bring a lot of fun and excitement to the kids and even people like me, not kid.
Young at heart.
Young at heart.
Yeah.
We have numerous markets in the county that are open just 1 day or 2 days a week.
Correct.
And then at the peak season, we're open Thursday through Sunday. Tell me the difference.
Well, Thurston County is home to 5 markets. We have the Olympia Farmers Market, West Olympia Farmers Market, Tumwater, Yelm Farmers Market, and Tenino. Thank you very much, Commissioner. And Tenino, not to be forgotten, a very special
Not to be
market
forgotten,
in Tenino.
yeah.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you.
But those markets are generally open 1 or 2 days.
Yes, correct. Most of those markets are open 1 day a week, and that actually means that in the peak season, which is generally April through October, there is a farmer's market open every day of the week in Thurston County. So we have a very rich market industry and market presence in this county, one that we can be really proud of for small business incubation, for agricultural development, for rural economics. It's a great market system that we have in the county.
Okay, one or two more questions, and then we'll take a walk.
Great.
And that is, what difference in regulation is there for your farmers market versus the other ones that are only open one day a week?
Yes, great question.
But people don't realize that, the different set of regulations and how stringent it is.
It is. Actually, our vendors, particularly our agricultural vendors, face a lot of barriers around marketing their business or direct marketing their business. And one of those barriers in Thurston County actually comes to us via the Washington State Retail Food Code, which defines a farmer's market as 3 or less days per week in operation. The farmers market of Olympia, our farmers market here, is open 4 days a week. And that actually classifies us as a grocer according to our local health department. So that means our vendors, in order to be in this market, have to go through a much more stringent and expensive permitting process in order to meet the requirements of a grocer, unfortunately, at our market.
So with public health as the goal, as the end result, it seems the rules are, like you said, exceptionally stringent to protect the health and safety of the public.
Absolutely, yes.
But I don't know why that would be different than a market that's open one day a week, because you still need to protect the health and safety of the community.
Yes, and
Your
health
vendors.
has been very open to dialogue and conversation and been very helpful, but we are beholden to the laws of the state as they stand currently, and so we follow them with resolve. But it does certainly raise an interesting issue in terms of the state definition of a farmer's market.
Right, and as a county commissioner, I'm also a commissioner on the Board of Health, and oversee the public health and social services, and they work in concert with you folks and with the state, correct?
Yes, as far as I know, that's correct.
Okay, very cumbersome, but important.
But very important. Yes, protecting public health and safety is a priority, and I want to say to that end, our Thurston Public Health does a tremendous job.
Thank you. And we haven't had a problem down here that I've been ever told.
Absolutely not. No.
So again, I'm with Mary DiMatteo, the community outreach with the Olympia Farmers Market, and we're going to stroll now and stop and talk to some vendors.
Great. Let's take a walk.
I like to interact with people,
Yes.
so let's stop and talk with someone.
Let's do that, and let's see what's in season at the market.
Got it. Okay. Good
Hi,
morning.
Nigel.
This
How
is
are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. It's nice to see you.
You too.
Nigel from Kearsarge Farm. This is Commissioner Hutchings.
nice to meet you, Nigel.
Nice to meet you.
Will you tell us a little bit about what's in season on your farm?
Yeah, well, this time of year, pretty much everything. You know, you got your lettuce, spinach, kinds of leafy greens, sunflowers, carrots, any vegetable you can think of, just about.
Awesome.
How long have you been doing this, Nigel?
About 16 years.
16 years. And you actually live on the farm.
I do.
And where's your farm located?
Rochester.
And we're going to be out there today,
Oh,
this
you are?
afternoon, getting a tour of the farm. And I don't remember who we're going to be speaking with.
Nigel's parents,
Most
Colin
likely
and Janine.
Janine and Colin.
Okay, okay, good. So I'm looking forward to that because I have not been there at all. And this has been here, Kearsarge Farms has been here at the farmers market for how many years, do you know?
Around 20, I think. We started in 1996.
Good grief. I mean, that's a long run. That's beautiful. So, but you have all kinds of fruits and berries and such, and flowers.
We don't do berries, just flowers, vegetables, and chickens.
And chickens.
Yeah,
Good grief. And you're here 4 days a week,
we are.
and I would imagine you stay quite busy.
We try.
And chickens, what kind? Chickens for eggs or chickens for meat or both?
We do both.
Awesome.
Now, is it, and I'm going to put you on the spot because I don't know. Are you organic?
We are.
And what does that mean, being organic? What's that entail?
It means we don't use any pesticides or chemicals on the plants, so we just let them grow with water and dirt and nutrients, a little bit of fertilizer.
And how do you control bugs and things that destroy your crop?
We put remay over them, sort of a papery tissue material, so it keeps the bugs out, but water can still get in. And so they grow peacefully.
And are your chickens organic as well?
They are.
Because I see in the market regular chickens and organic and certain fed chickens and such. What does that mean regarding chickens?
It means we only buy organic feed, so there's no GMO or anything in it. It's just grains, soybeans.
That's going to sound kind of weird. I've had people tell me there's a big difference in the taste between regular chicken and organic. Can you tell the difference in the taste?
A little bit, yeah. It's pretty subtle, but you can tell.
Can you tell the difference?
Absolutely. I think there is a big difference, not only in organic, but also with a pasture-raised bird. A bird that has lived its life on the beautiful fields of Kearsarge Farm, that is raised organically, that's also butchered and slaughtered humanely and ethically. I think there is actually a big difference in taste and quality. And you can see it, you can smell it, and you can taste it immediately in the quality of the meat that you bring home, particularly from Kearsarge Farm.
Well, I tell you, there's a big change. There's a big difference in the price as well, and I was kind of dubious about it. But I do 99% of the cooking at my house, and so unbeknownst to my wife, I went and I got or bought organic chicken, and she could. I didn't tell her, but she said, "Wow, this is a little. What'd you do differently?" And it was nothing different.
Yes.
And I noticed the difference as well. It was more flavorful. I don't want to say more or authentic, but it was more authentic. It was very, very good. And for me, it was worth the price.
And we can ensure by purchasing direct from our farmers that farmland stays in production, that farmers have a living wage, that they have the ability and the resources to tackle environmental regulations, permitting hurdles. And we want to make sure that farmland in Thurston County remains in production.
So how many employees does Kearsarge employ?
This time of year we have around 20 or 30, I'd say.
Okay, and they're non-union?
No.
Okay, but 20 or 30. Then off season or off peak, then how many do you?
Off season, a lot less, like maybe 10 at the most.
That's still quite a few for off season.
Yeah.
That's great. Nigel, thank you so much for this visit.
Nigel, thank you. Thank you so much.
Here with Nigel.
You're awesome, Nigel.
Nigel with Kearsarge Farms in Rochester.
Thanks, Nigel. Great job.
Hey, I'm out with Leslie Price right now, and she's with the Public Health Department. But before I introduce her, shh, don't tell anybody because we're in front of the secret garden. Now, it doesn't make sense to me why it'd be secret and that they put signs out, but that's okay. So, Leslie, thank you for coming here today to the Farmers Market. What is it you do for the public health?
Well, I'm a registered dietitian, so I work with a group of educators, and I focus on the nutrition-related events and programs that we do. I've done some work with community gardens. I've done some work with sodium reduction in cafeterias. We've done some work with chronic disease self-management in the past, so anything that comes along that's nutrition-related, I'm on board. And nutrition is mainly important because a healthy diet, eating healthy foods, helps you to reduce your risk for chronic diseases like heart disease, stroke, diabetes, cancer, obesity.
Explain, we're in front of a sign that says, "We accept EBT."
Okay.
Tell us what EBT is and how important is that to have EBT acceptance down here at the Farmers Market?
Well, EBT stands for Electronic Benefit Transfer, which is basically a debit card that you get your SNAP benefits on. And SNAP stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. It used to be called food stamps.
Okay.
So now it's SNAP benefits. So when you get your monthly allotment for that, they put it on this debit card, and you can use it to buy foods. And all of the farmers markets in Thurston County accept the EBT card. Tumwater actually has a match program for EBT. For every $1 you spend using your EBT card, you get a $1 match from them, up to $10 per week.
Oh, good grief. So
Yeah.
that stretches it double. I mean,
Yes.
it doubles it.
Yeah, and I was told by Mary that they're soon going to be getting that here at the Olympia Farmers
Oh,
Market.
now that's not only cool, that's heartwarming.
It is.
So can somebody using EBT, can they buy an artisan craft, or does it have to be food only?
It's food.
Just
for
food? Okay.
Yeah.
And,
Same as in a grocery store. So you can use it for fruits and vegetables. And
Okay, that is wonderful to know. Wonderful to know. Again, I'm with Leslie Price with Public Health and Social Services, and down here at the Farmers Market, having a great time. I am at one of my favorite places of the market, and that's with Evan and Fran Adams from Shelton and Sound Fresh Clams and Oysters. I can eat my weight in oysters, and I think Evan knows that. And with us is not only Evan, but his wife Fran. And introduce your grandson.
Ian Adams.
Ian Adams, okay, welcome. So, your farm, Evan, is in Shelton, and how long have you been in business, or has it been a family business?
I became a business, I think, in 1973.
73. Let me ask you this: how many oysters do you shuck, like through a week at a farmer's market?
Here, 100, 200, 300, sometimes in a day, if it's a popular day.
Good grief.
Yeah,
Or if I come down.
Yeah, it keeps me busy.
So I want you to tell me, please, about the two different kinds of sauce or toppings you have, and then I am dying to have one.
Okay. We got Pacific oysters here, 1 year
What is
old.
it, Pacific?
Pacifics. These are Kumamotos.
The small ones.
Right. The Kumamotos, you eat them with a little bit of lime juice on them. The Pacifics, you eat with a little bit of red sauce or some champagne vinaigrette.
You pair these differently with whatever type of oyster that
My
someone's.
wife makes the champagne.
Right.
I make the red.
So it's like pairing wine with a meal. You're pairing oyster with the sauce. Fix me one, would you? 'Cause I only have one hand. Please. And I'm gladly going to pay you for this. This is not gratuity.
Yeah, Mary offered to take up the tab.
Okay. That is lovely. And this shows that I have not only faith in Evan and Fran's product, but also in our health department because they're monitored regularly.
That's a Pacific.
I never thought I'd be doing a cooking show or a gourmet show. Oh my God. And now, can I legally take an oyster from here and walk and eat it somewhere else, or do I have to eat it right here?
You eat anywhere you want, I think.
Good, because I want to take one and go over to Johnson's Berry Farm, and they have a habanero raspberry, and I just want to see what that tastes like.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you, Evan, very much.
Thank you.
Fran, it's nice to see you again. We'll come back down, my wife and I, probably this weekend. And it's nice to meet you, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hello, hello.
Elise, I'm John Hutchings.
Hi,
And
John.
you're Elise
Elise Johnson. Nice to meet you.
I am dying. What?
I heard you want to try a new combination.
Are you open to that?
I think so.
Have you had anybody ever do this before?
Not with an oyster, actually.
Oh,
But
yeah.
with some salmon.
So we're gonna try pairing something here.
So if you want to just...
Oh, look at that.
here, I'll
You
hold the
hold
thing.
that.
We'll do that. Yeah, and if you want to just throw that on there.
Is this the habanero though, or is this?
This is habanero.
It's not just okay.
Mm-hmm. I think it'll go well.
Get on there.
See, I'm a vegetarian, so I wouldn't know. But I hope it will go well.
Most people might think that this is kind of gross.
Mm-hmm.
They might be right.
Yeah.
It's not bad because I love your habanero jelly, or jellies, and I love oysters.
Yeah.
But I probably wouldn't do a combination like this again.
Okay.
But I am getting that nice mild bite.
Mild
from
spice?
from the habanero, and
All
it
right.
is beautiful. So thank you very much for that.
I appreciate it.
Now you have your farm, the family farm, is on Wiggins Road in Southeast Olympia.
Yes, we're over on Wiggins, off of Yum Highway.
You don't know this, but we're neighbors.
Oh.
And my wife and I have bought from your farm for years, or your parents' farm for years. Not only the fresh berries, but the different flavors of jams and jellies that you and I bought numerous jars of the habanero for family.
Okay.
It's gorgeous stuff. How long has the family been doing this?
My dad has done it since he was 9. I think he started here. His mom drove him with the little cups of raspberries. Whole shebang. Good now.
Now, where else do you serve your wares, or where else do you have a shop or a store?
We're up in Pike Place Market, and we're also in Puyallup Market, and we have a little farm stand at the house.
And they
definitely.
employ you just during the season or year round, or?
Yeah, kind of year round. I do odd jobs that no one wants to do, and that's it is what it is. Farmer's daughter.
Somebody has to do that. How many employees does Johnson's have?
I'm gonna say over or under 20, give or and depending on the time of the season. In the winter, it's like 2 or 3.
Okay.
But
Are you just a berry farm, or you're an organic berry farm?
we are an organic berry farm. We've been organic since '91.
Tell me what that means.
That means we don't use sprays and we don't use any chemicals on our berries or plants or anything like that.
Better for us?
I hope so. I think so.
Yeah. And I've talked. We had other people I've interviewed already at the market here, and we talked about not using GMOs and organic versus non-organic and such. And so the fact that you are a certified organic farm, which I love, is very important. Plus, you're almost in my backyard.
Right.
Well, Elise, thank you so much for taking time with me today. Greatly appreciate it. Love the family. I love your family. I love the product.
We appreciate it.
From the blackberry to the habanero, the pepper jelly, or the pepper jam, it is all wonderful stuff. Especially if you like the spicy bite. Oh my goodness, it's awesome, awesome sauce.
Yeah.
So thank you very kindly.
Thank you. Yeah. Have a great day.
Thank you. Hi, I'm out here with Aslan Mead. And if you don't know Aslan, you're going to now, and you will remember him. Aslan, how you doing?
I'm good, John. Thanks for having me here today.
My pleasure. And running into you down here, of course.
Yeah, right.
What is your new title? You have a new title. What is it?
So I work for the Thurston Economic Development Council, and I was their community and rural development manager, and now I am the business and investor relations manager.
So what does that mean?
Lord knows, John. Let me get back to you in a couple weeks after I've been in the position longer. But what I have been doing is a lot of what's going on around here, working with food and farm businesses and rural communities on economic development and community development. So,
And that's your whole passion, I would think, is economic development.
it is, especially local economic development, where we keep the money from leaving. I often call myself like one of those flippers at the bottom of a pinball machine, and our job is to stop the money from leaving and bounce it around so it touches more people and racks up the points.
And how long have you been doing that for EDC?
The EDC only about 1.5 years, but I've been doing it in the Thurston community for probably about 5-6 years now.
And it seems no matter where I go, South County, North County, Southwest, it doesn't matter. You're there. You attend meetings, you are there, and you're engaged.
Well, thank you. Engaged is certainly one of my favorite words, and yeah, and we even cross the border, so we work very closely with all our surrounding counties as well. So.
Really, what kind of part do they play in economic development?
Well, so one thing I'd really like to focus on and kind of highlight while we're here is I'm part of an organization called the South Sound Food Systems Network.
Okay.
And so our focus is on supporting local food from both the economic side, the social side, and the environmental side. And so in that group, we have really heavy participation from Mason County, Lewis County, Grays Harbor, and sometimes Pierce County as well. So I'm not sure if I answered your question, but I did get a plug-in for the Food Systems Network.
You did, and I want to ask you about, you said the environment or environmental side, and I'll ask you about that, but first, before I forget, do you have a conference or something culminating coming up in October?
So we do. We have a food summit. Our community here.
Food summit. Sounds like something I would like to attend.
Yes, you would. In fact,
Okay.
it'll be on a Friday night of October 20th. Will be a local food and drink tasting salon. So you'll have craft brewing,
Salon.
distilling, cider, as well as food from all kinds of different local food producers and processors. And then the next day will be a all-day-long conference summit focused a lot on including everybody, children, families, and the kind of culture of food and how food touches our lives in so many ways.
Where will that be held?
At the SPSCC Mottman campus.
The Mottman, right at the SPSCC.
Yeah, the main SPSCC. We are making a huge effort to include people who've never been involved in the food movement. So low-income folks and different cultures, and get people's interest and feedback and input that don't usually take part in this process, in this movement. So
That is pretty cool, the outreach.
Yes.
And educating people that are just naive to it, don't even know about it. But let me ask you this. You said environmental. You're part of the environmental piece. What does that mean? Because when you say that, I'm thinking not only the environment, but when it comes to food, I'm thinking of organics, local food, its purity, the health benefits.
Sure.
nutrition, all those types of things. What does it mean in your job?
So, for the environmental piece, one of the main issues is that if we are going to have farmers and we're going to have farmers markets, we need to have farmland. So, there's a large focus on helping keep what farmland we have, preserving that as farmland and restoring farmland. And so, we have organizations like the Thurston Conservation District is heavily involved, and the South of the Sound Community Farmland Trust. And then on the social side, we have organizations like Public Health, which I believe you talked to today. We have Senior Services and the Food Bank, and organizations like Grub that work with youth that also tie into the kind of economic side by getting youth involved in jobs in food. And then obviously the economic side. So we have we have businesses like Helsing Junction Farm is kind of a poster child, Heritage Meats. We have organizations like the EDC that help out with businesses and agricultural businesses, obviously the Farmers Market, Sustainable South Sound, Enterprise for Equity, and others.
Our population is estimated to grow, it's supposed to double in 15 years in Thurston County. That's a ton of people.
Yes, and we have to feed them.
We've got to feed them,
Yes.
and they're going to want local stuff as well.
And we'd like to support our local businesses.
So tell me, what is a brine shot? I've never heard of a brine shot before.
So we are standing here, currently, we are standing in front of Rising River Farm, which is a fantastic farm from down in Rochester. And right next door is Oly Kraut. So going from the straight vegetable producers to taking those vegetables and processing them into a value-added product. And so I would suggest we go next door and get a brine shot from Oly Kraut.
Let's try that. And I've had Oly Kraut before, and I'll chat about it there. But you didn't say the dare word, but you dared me to have one. I'm going to do a brine shot.
Well, I'm not going to dare you after you did that oyster with the jelly on top.
The habanero.
Yeah, but yes, I highly recommend it. Okay.
All right. Aslan and I are now in front of Oly Kraut, and this is going to be an experience. This is Janae, and thank you for being here today. You're an employee of Oly Kraut, which is home is in Olympia. Tell me about Oly Kraut.
Yes, it's a company that was started in 2009 by a local Olympian, Sash Sunday. And we make everything just up in the East Side neighborhood is our commercial kitchen. And we use organic, we're certified organic, and we use the majority of our produce from local farms in the area. And what makes us different too is that we're a raw fermented sauerkraut. And we're traditionally fermented, so that means we use no vinegar, it's just sea salt and veggies.
I tell you what, and before I forget it, where to find Oly Kraut is almost everywhere. And about 2 months ago, I was down at the farmers. I've been hearing about Oly Kraut for a long time, and but couldn't find it. I finally found it, and it was in the refrigerated section of the co-op, the food co-op. So maybe that's why I couldn't find it elsewhere, because I didn't go to the refrigerated section. But does it have to be fridged even before it's open?
Yeah, that's best.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's best for it. So it's actually not perishable technically, because the fermentation keeps it safe, but it's more of a quality issue because it's live, it'll continue to ferment. So we want to keep it at the level that it's at now, because that's what we've guaranteed for our flavor.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So if you can't find it at your favorite supermarket, wherever, if you're not getting it down here at the farmers market, be sure you ask for it. And demand, I want Oly Kraut in this store. I also read down here that you have bought 62,914 pounds of local produce last year, and that's all for your Oly Kraut. So I was going to say, a couple months ago, I went to Eastern Washington to visit my brother, and I took a jar of the spicy garlic and the original, and he had knee surgery, so we just sat there and ate this stuff, and we were in heaven, because it is so doggone good. Now, you're a fan also, Aslan, of Oly Kraut.
I am, and I've been working with Sash Sunday, the owner of Oly Kraut, for years now in so many ways, and she is such a pioneer, just really taking the commitment to purchasing local so you get that sourcing local so you get that multiplier effect. She's really explored whole new ways of distribution in the area, and it is just a joy. She's worked on local investment, so getting our own citizens and our own people who live here and the customers of Oly Kraut to invest in the company and things of that nature, and just a real pioneer.
A female-owned business, and I think it's local. That's beautiful.
And one of my heroes.
And of all the different products, Sasha picked kraut. Sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut. I mean, there is a whole movement towards fermented foods in our community and probably again around the country, and the value and the health benefits in fermentation. So.
And then for the first time, I've never heard of a brine shot. And Aslan told me about a brine shot. And I see down here brine shots, and there's original and smoke and kale.
The smoke and kale is my favorite, John, but you can do what you like.
Now, are you giving samples?
Yeah.
Okay. May I have a sample of each?
Yes.
Would you like one?
So we're going to do a sample, then a shot?
Either way.
What are you talking about a shot? What's
Well, a shot, yeah.
a jar?
A shot is this size.
Oh,
And
okay.
the sample is this size. So
Okay, shoot me.
shoot you. Okay,
All right.
So
You're in.
Eastern European
We're doing it.
has
I'm sorry, say it
the
again.
Eastern European has caraway, apples, and onions in it. So it's like there's a slight sweetness to it, and it's traditional German style. The original is our cabbage kraut, it's classic, just cabbage and sea salt. It has a really nice fresh taste to it.
Okay.
And then the smoking kale is one of my favorites, and it's smoked chipotle and jalapeno and chili flake in it. So it's like smoky, spicy, and sour, but it does have a kick to it. So
So what do you suggest? Number one, what order? And number two, if I'm going to try each one, would I do a shot of each one or a sample of
I
each
would do
one?
a sample if you're trying them all.
Okay, there you go. This is
right.
the expert.
Let's do a sample of each one.
If you don't mind, I'd like to try each one.
Let's start with the original.
And why do you drink brine? Why is it good for you?
Brines are awesome. So the brines have 3 times the amount of probiotics that the sauerkraut has, because the probiotics live in the juice. So they're super great for the digestive system. They boost the immune system, and they're also really energizing, and they're electrolyte balancing. So they're really rehydrating.
Kind of like caffeine, energizing.
In a different way.
Oh, in a different way. Okay.
Yeah. So they're gonna.
Oh, you can try one.
Sure. Yeah, you pouring double? Are you, all right, we're doing.
You have to do this with a toast, or at least a cheers.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That is good stuff. That is good. And would you do a shot a day, or what, to keep the probiotic going and get the benefits, one a day, or do you keep drinking throughout the day?
I'll do at least like one of those a day, sometimes twice, but I'll also add it to like sauteed greens after I've cooked them, or I'll make salad dressings.
Oh, I'm sorry, you can't.
Oh, I'll add it to sauteed greens after I've cooked them, or I'll put it into salad dressings.
That's good.
And, drink it.
Okay.
Shots too.
Now this one is the
This is the Eastern European. So this is the
Eastern
one with the carrots and the
And onion.
apple and caraway and onion. Yeah.
All right.
German style.
It's a local
cheers.
food.
Yep.
Wow. Such flavorful and so different from the last
It is.
one.
It's a little more savory. It's a little heavier, more substance to it. It seems like.
All right. And this is my favorite.
Well, it's almost like drinking a whole bottle.
Yeah, there you go.
This is our smoking kale.
Thank you, Janae.
Thank you.
Cheers.
All right.
I'll get the chipotle. I'm waiting for the bite to come on.
Yeah.
You taste the smoky aftertaste.
I get the smoke. Smoky. That is really, really good stuff. I can see drinking a shot of that in the morning. And then people don't have to take probiotics.
And then you just can't breathe on anybody then. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Janae, thank you so much. Thank you very much for engaging us in the samples. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
All right, I've had a great time here at the Farmers Market today, and we're going to finish this up. And I'm on the extreme east side of the market at the Olympia Farmers Market Garden. And I'm with Corey Carlton, the master gardener, and I'm going to let Corey give us the proper title of the garden.
It is the Gallici Gardens, and Gallici is, this garden was named after Norman Gallici, who was also a master gardener, which the garden started about 21 years ago. And so he was part of that founding group that actually started the garden, and before what was used to be just a parking lot is now a beautiful garden.
It is a stunning garden. Now, do you work for WSU or do you work for the county?
I'm a county employee, but I actually represent.
Welcome.
Thank you. So I have two hats. So one of them is the Master Gardener program through WSU Extension program, and then also the Master Recycler Composter program, which is a county based through Public Works.
Wonderful. So tell me about the garden itself.
So the garden started, again, 21 years ago, and from there it was originally started from plants that were donated from market vendors, and then from there Master Gardeners were asked to be involved as far as for upkeep and also enhancing the garden over the years, and that it has. And so right now we have a little bit of everything in there as a demonstration garden. And this is just one of 3 that we have throughout the county. We also have one called Closed Loop Park at the Waste and Recovery Center at the landfill area, the closed landfill. And then also at Dirtworks, which is in Yager Park. And all those 3 gardens, all are education gardens. So we demonstrate good, solid science practices.
I love that. So you do this outreach to youth and as well in the schools and field trips and that type of stuff as well?
Yep, we do it to anybody who wants to learn and to become a better gardener, because Master Gardeners are trained in the science and art of gardening, so that way the volunteers then give community service hours back to the community by educating others on how to become a better gardener.
That's beautiful. And like you said, science and art.
Yes.
Science and art.
And this is Brian, who's one of our
I'm sorry.
Gardeners. And he's one of them, along with our work party that's going on.
Yeah,
here.
work party going on behind us. This is Brian Kitola.
Yes.
And Brian, it's good to see you again.
Nice to meet you too.
We go back how many years?
Oh, I think we go back to 1998.
Yeah.
Because I started here around 1997. So we've known each other 20 plus years.
And so, what do you do for the Master Gardeners?
For the Master Gardeners, I started volunteering in 2009, and I'm working the Friday crew here, and I help maintain the garden of raking, sweeping, just the odds and ends that I can do as much as I can. So
giving back to your community, because
that's
you're volunteering for 8 years doing this.
Yes, yes.
That's a beautiful thing. Now in the garden, and this is for either one of you, in the garden, do you track with what you plant a lot of bees and or butterflies?
So we do have a lot of great pollinator plants. So not only that attract bees and butterflies, but all the other types of pollinating insects there. So, and as a education tool for folks to see that, oh, this will grow well here, maybe I'll try that in my own yard.
Corey, tell us about the Master Garden program and the Children's Garden.
Okay, so the program has been in existence. It started with WSU Extension, it'll be this year 44 years in existence. It is based solely on community service. So we train the volunteers starting in January. They just actually finished last week. Last Friday was their graduation day, and now that they give 60 hours of volunteer service back to the community before they come certified. And some of their service is done in these demonstration gardens and also at other outreach events. One of our other outreach events that we do is the Children's Garden, and the Children's Garden itself is at Dirtworks Garden in Yager Park there. It's on Tuesday mornings from 10 to noon. It is free, and it's open to any child ages 4 to 12, and they can bring their adult chaperone with them, and then they will learn about how to garden, from planting a seed to actually growing it to harvesting it, and then all the food that we raise there all goes down to the food bank.
This is a little bit off topic, but it's not. It's right on topic. I was visiting Juvenile Hall several months ago, and they have a garden in the back. Are you familiar with that?
I am familiar with that. I haven't actually gone out to see it yet, but I was aware of that garden there, and we actually did have a couple volunteers that were Master Gardeners that also helped out at that garden.
I was told a story of a young man who was incarcerated at Juvie Hall and juvenile detention. And he became involved in the gardening, and from the seed to watering and growing and watching this thing, the vegetables grow. And then as part of that routine, several of the kids then took the produce and took it to a food shelter.
Yes.
And this one young man in particular was real quiet on the way home. And when the probation officer asked, "Why are you so quiet?" he started tearing up. Just saying, I didn't know how much people would appreciate food.
Yes.
He'd never seen that piece before. So you're talking about 2 to 12-year-olds at Yager Park at Dirtworks.
Yep.
And teaching kids the value and actually how this stuff works is powerful.
It is amazing because it is geared for the kids, but the adult chaperones that come with also learn just along with. We had last year a gentleman in his 40s that had never seen a cabbage head fully grown in an actual garden setting before. Last year, we also had a 4-year-old ask why we had glued carrots together because she had only eaten baby carrots, and when we pulled out a full-size carrot, she'd never seen one before. So she had thought we glued baby carrots together and planted them in the ground. And so this is one of those things where we need to educate our youth and our adults too where our food comes from, and that we can grow it here in our own backyard, because here, specifically Thurston County, is great weather for that.
Well, and to that end, I love Brussels sprouts, and it was many years after eating them that I saw them on the stem,
Yes.
and I asked my mom back then, "What are these?"
Yeah.
'Cause I never knew how they grew.
Correct.
Very interesting.
So our goal is to get them started young. So starting at age 4, that we participate in the program, so that eventually they will know exactly where their food comes from, and they know that the food that they grow goes to the food bank. And last year they donated just over about 1,100 pounds to the food bank from the Children's Garden Program.
1,100 pounds. Good grief.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all that you do in volunteering for the Master Gardeners. I really appreciate that. And it's good to see you again.
Nice seeing you too, Hutch.
Thank you. Corey,
Thank you.
Thank you very much for taking the time out here at the market and the farmers market garden,
Yes.
or the
Galici
garden.
Yep, Norm Galici.
And I know a lot more about it than I did before.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Now we're going to head down to Kersop Farms in Rochester and actually see stuff growing. Hi, I'm Thurston County Commissioner John Hutchings, and I'm with Colin Barraclough. And we're down at the Scatter Creek Farm and Conservancy, Kersop Farm. Welcome.
Thank you.
Actually, welcome to me, because I'm visiting you. We did all morning at the Farmers Market, Olympia Farmers Market, and talked with Nigel up there, who is representing the family farm very well. But I want to ask you, because I know you are exceptionally busy, your time is constrained because of farm work that has to get done. What is it you actually do in the farm?
Where to start? Well, I'll say we grow about 20 to 25 acres of organic vegetables, and there are many tasks involved with that I do lots of: irrigation, fertility, a lot of the tractor work. We have helpers for all of this, of course. We also grow about 20 acres of grain, wheat and barley and oats that almost all of it we turn into chicken and pig feed. We grow several thousand pastured organic meat chickens every year, and we make all the feed for them, and a handful of pigs and a few hundred laying hens and a flock of sheep that we produce lamb, and lots of work to do all that stuff.
Wow. And we interrupted you from making feed?
I was just getting set up to make a batch of pig feed. Tomorrow morning we're picking up a litter of piglets and making feed for them out of dry peas and barley and minerals.
And these are certified organic pigs, meat, and all
The
chickens.
piglets, unfortunately, we buy the piglets from local farmers.
Uh-huh.
And since we don't have control of the sows and where the pigs come from, they won't be certified organic, but they will eat nothing but organic feed here at the farm.
They'll be organic-ish.
Organic-ish.
By the time they get
the chickens,
processed,
we get day-old chicks from the hatchery and raise them certified organic all the way. And they are, because we get them day-old chicks, they're certified organic poultry and eggs.
Anything you want to get out to the public now about farming, or about what you do, or about your farm?
Yes, I would say that how you spend your food dollar is one of the most important things you do every day. Where the answer to what we're going to eat and where our food comes from addresses so many issues that people are concerned about. And you're literally voting for the kind of economy and landscape you want by what you eat and where you spend that money.
And is it worth the extra pennies to buy organic?
Absolutely.
Why?
For many reasons. The first one I think that people think of first is, is it healthier for my body? And absolutely it is. Pesticide residue in your food is a well-documented problem. So avoiding that is huge. And besides, pleasure. If you get fresh food from the farmer's market, it's going to taste better. You're going to have a better time with it. And then the downstream effects, even if you didn't care about what was going into your body, knowing that the food you're eating came from acres that weren't doused in synthetic, nasty, toxic chemicals is better for all of us.
There you go. Eat organic, It's the way to go. It's better for you and it's better for the economy. Thank you very much, Colin.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Get back to work.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm out here. I'm with Janine Bradwin, and this is Colin's wife, and we're still at Cursip Farm. And since we just cut Colin loose to go back to work, I'm going to spend a little more time with Janine so she can tell us more about the farm. Thank you for being here, and thank you for taking the time out of your busy day as well, especially taking care of a brand new kitten that you just found on the farm, and that happens out here. So how many acres do you have, Janine?
Well, we are leasing 60 acres here at the Scatter Creek Farm and Conservancy. About 24 of that is our vegetable production, and the rest is for pastures for livestock and grain crops to feed those animals.
Good grief. Now, this is all organic, and I'm told, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that growing organic is more difficult and you perhaps produce less.
I'm going to tell you a joke. I'm going to steal a joke from my friend Devin. She says, organic farming, they ought to call it organic weeding, am I right?
Oh, wow.
Because we spend so much time controlling weeds without chemicals.
By hand?
Yeah, by hand. So we have various machines that control the weeds.
Uh-huh.
We have tractor-pulled machines. We have human-powered machines, and we have our hands that pull the weeds. And we spend many hours doing that to control weeds without chemicals. And that is...
Well, that's a lot of acreage.
It's a lot.
And so how many employees do you have?
Right now, we have about 15 here on the farm.
Okay. Okay, obviously you're not growing lemon trees and avocados because they don't grow here.
No.
But we're standing in front of what?
These are our cucumber vines.
Cucumbers,
Cucumbers, tomatoes, bell peppers, those are things that grow reasonably well here, but better if you give them a little boost in a greenhouse.
In the greenhouse, okay.
It's a little more heat.
And you're watering, you got drip lines.
We've got drip lines.
And when these come to full growth, what do you call them? When they're harvestable? Or
cucumbers?
Pickable? What do you call it when you're ready to
Mature?
Mature, thank you. Not like me. Then do these go right to the farmer's market, or do you jar them and pickle them, or do you sell them out?
No,
or
right to the farmer's market. These are very fancy, very delicious, thin-skinned English cucumbers.
Oh, the English ones, like the long,
Yeah,
long ones.
they're not even an American slicer.
No.
They're not a pickler. They're like the tippy top of the cucumber.
I love, and I get the English ones.
They're what you want.
Yes.
Yeah, when you just want to eat a juicy, yummy cucumber.
And the thin skin is what does it too.
You don't have to peel them. You don't have to mess around. You just enjoy them.
Now, do you grow corn?
We do a little bit of sweet corn.
Sweet corn, okay. Is that the yellow or the white? Is it
We
the,
do a bicolor.
The queen? Oh, do you?
Mhm.
Okay.
It's called Luscious.
Luscious. Okay. And
Luscious.
I would find that. Where would I find that?
At the farmer's
At the
market in
market.
September.
All right. And are you at the West Side Farmers Market? I don't think you are yet.
The Olympia Farmers Market.
Right, downtown. Are you going to be expanding? Do you have any plans of expansion?
Well, we do a bunch of markets in the Seattle area.
Oh, do you?
So we do Olympia 4 days a week, and then we do 5 days a week in Seattle, different markets. And that's got us hopping. We're pretty good with that schedule.
Tell me a little bit more about what you're growing, because I see wheat and such, and I think Colin mentioned some of that.
He's growing barley and wheat and triticale and rye, basically all kinds of grains that are the kind that will mature quickly in our relatively short growing season. So you put in, an acre or 5 acres or 10 acres of grain, you got to make sure it's the right one for the climate in the area so that we'll get it. If you plant the wrong one and it takes too long, it's going to start raining in September. And it's going to lodge and you're going to miss it. And then all of your work will be for nothing. So
Would you say there's more science or art involved in farming and or organic farming?
Half and half, slightly more science. 60 science, 40 art.
And you're obviously quite educated in this field, I would think. What would you say would be your passion about this? What do you love the most about it?
Oh, what I love the most about it is having good things to eat all the time. Yeah, I'm in it for the good food.
Okay.
For sure.
And that's an excellent reason to be in it. Is there anything else you'd like to add or say to our viewers that they should know, would want to know a fun fact?
Well, you know, it's not really a fun fact. Colin earlier was mentioning reasons why you should buy organic food. Obviously, you want to put clean food in your body, and people don't always think about the effects of clean food on clean land, clean water, clean air, and the bodies of the people who make the food for you. There are people planting, weeding, and harvesting food all over the world all the time. And if it's not organic, those people are subjected to a lot of health risks. So if you buy organic, you're doing your part to protect agricultural workers all over the world. So that's a great
Wow.
reason to buy organic.
But especially locally. And you don't, because I'm looking across the fields and I see lush, rich, well manicured, well taken care of crops, and and you're not fertilizing.
Well, we fertilize with cow manure, feather meal, compost, natural things.
Not chemical, or
Not
chemically
chemicals.
induced type things.
No. There's plenty of natural sources of fertility around. Cover crops as well. Sometimes we'll grow a grain crop, mow it, and turn it into the soil to feed the soil. You can do that, and it doesn't hurt anyone. It doesn't hurt anything.
So you're not worried about, you don't even
very
have to
clean,
worry
very
about
healthy.
runoff or aquifers or anything like that. It's because it's all natural.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jeannie. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. Hi, I'm now with Loretta Sappinen, and she is the board chair of the South of the Sound Community Farmland Trust. A long name, but an important trust. Welcome, and thank you for taking time, Loretta, with me today.
Thank you. Glad to be here with you, John.
And how long have you been on the board?
I've been on the board almost 6 years now.
And now you're the board chair.
I'm board chair.
And you
just
like
this
it?
year. It's a considerable responsibility, and I'm willing to give it all my best because it's very important to me to save farmland. We're here because we really believe that it's very important to keep the farming heritage that we have in Thurston County alive in the future. It's great to have that local food, and as Janine and Colin talked about it, there's real advantages of having local farmers like them who are dedicated to making sure we have this food. But there's a threat. There's the threat of development, and there is another threat, and it applied to Janine and Colin several years ago, and that is their need for access to the land, but the cost of the land is simply too high. So they can't, even though they want to be farmers, they want to produce our food, they want to have all the gains that they talked about, the land cost is too high. That's where we come in. We, as a land trust, in order to keep the heritage of farming in our area, will use various mechanisms to both preserve the land and also to try to make it affordable, not only for farmers right now, like Janine and Colin, but our goal is to put in place mechanisms to keep the land affordable for the next generation of farmers and the farmers long after we're all gone, so that the future generations can have the same kind of farming heritage in Thurston County that we enjoy today. With this particular farm, the farm that we're standing on right now, we do own the land, but Janine and the trust owns the land. And we own the land thanks to sponsorship from several different places. There are a number of organizations that came together, but one of the most important was actually all of us who live in Thurston County who pay property taxes. Tiny little portion of our taxes goes to Conservation Futures. And that we competed against other organizations as well, and we were selected as one of the organizations several years ago to receive funding under that so we could purchase this land.
And I believe that brings in annually about $1.3 million.
That's right. But each one of us is paying only a small amount.
Small portion. Yeah.
I live in just a little bit above the average home in Thurston County, and my rate is $18 each year that's going from my taxes that go into that fund. So it's a small amount.
Okay.
And so we own the land, but in order to put the whole package together and in order to keep the farmers we lease to on the land, they also have to buy the farm buildings because we want to keep the farm together. So we want them living in the farmhouse, we want them using the farm buildings, and so we ask them to put their money down to buy those buildings. So that's not free. by any means. They need to typically take out a loan to do that, just like any of us would have to take a loan out.
Right.
But they have more than a house. They have more buildings than that. And then they pay us the going lease rate for the land. So just as if they would be leasing land any place, they're paying us. But they have a guarantee that they can keep doing that, leasing that land all of their lives, their children's lives. And if they don't want to farm anymore and lease the land, then that right can be sold to someone else who can be our partner in the future.
What else would you like to tell us about the South of the Sound Farm Trust?
Well, we try to support farmers in a number of other ways, and so one of them is this farm map, and maybe we can take a picture of that. Every year we ask our local farmers who want to sell direct, just like Janine and Colin, and others who sell at markets, and others who sell just right from their own homes, from their farm stands, by you calling them up if they want to advertise. So we have more than 50 farmers in there. We have 8 or 9 farmers markets in there. And this goes to 10,000 people in our community so that people can learn to do exactly what Colin is talking about, and that is support local farmers by paying attention to what your food dollar is doing and make your food dollar go into the local economy by buying direct. When we do that purchasing, that money is not going to some corporation, food-related corporation, who knows where.
Yeah.
That money stays right here in this community, creating more wealth in Thurston County.
Now, besides wealth, which is paramount in a capitalistic society, what kind of philanthropic work is done? Is food donated to the food bank? Fresh produce rather than just throw it in the bin?
Absolutely. Almost all the farms in our area who are producing fresh produce will give the food that is not able to be sold, will give that, or may ask the gleaners from the food bank, that's a nice project that they do, come out at the end when it no longer pays to have staff walk through the field and harvest, to come and do that harvesting.
Gleaners, okay.
Gleaners, yes.
Yeah.
We have modern day gleaners.
You do, okay. Well, it's nice to know that the local food bank
Yes.
is being supplied, which feeds those,
Right.
obviously, that aren't as fortunate as we are.
Right.
Wonderful. Well, I thank you very much for taking the time to come out here and chatting with me. Greatly appreciate it. And I'm glad it's not too hot, and I'm glad it's not raining.
Right. It's a beautiful day on the farm.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much, Loretta.
Thank you.
Today was fun for me, and I learned a lot of information that I didn't have before, and I enjoyed it. I hope you folks enjoyed it. And for more information, please go to the county website, Thurston County website, and you'll find some links there. But also check out the Olympia Farmers Market website, because there's going to be links there to all the local vendors of all the local farms and the local artisans, and you can see how big this thing is. And it's bigger than us, it's bigger than me, and how important it is. Thank you very much, and I thank you. Thanks to all the people and staff that helped me. Thank you to TCM very much for spending the entire day with me. It's been a lot of fun, and so I hope you've enjoyed it like I did. Goodbye now.